There you go.
So I think we left off about talking about how I formatted MLA.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking at the pictures because you're a more visual person.
And then actually researching it.
Right.
Or researching and reading information on how to do MLA. But MLA is very easy now because I've written many papers, but APA is a different style. Now I've had papers in APA, which that took a little bit getting used to. But this is an MLA, and this is also a PowerPoint presentation. So with researching Intro to Female Masculinity, I'm also going to interview females on campus about their experiences with, at certain periods of their life, developing if they were treated a different way, if they wore certain clothes, or or they acted more masculine than females, etc. I love interviewing people for research as well. And I also I love observing people for research as well. And when you're talking about more psychologically based class like this, it's more people oriented rather than a research of factual information like a history of something in the past time. This is more people oriented around what is happening in our modern day and age, like current events that's actually happening. So yeah, so
So let's say you need an online source.
oh, okay.
Okay. So what would be your route to finding an online source to support your research?
Okay. Well, thank you. So online research would be um, here, more female, feminist, feminist websites of. I would also, what's interesting, Emma Watson, she had a big thing about femininity, and she had a he for she a program going on. So that's what I would look at. Let's see. A he for she campaign. So this is something that would go for research as well, because there's a lot of research on this website of for gender equality and for female how females have been portrayed and throughout history and etc. in America. Yeah, so this is something I would look at as well. This would be an online resource that I would look at, heforshe.org. And I would just kind of look at the information on the website. And just kind of, and I'll watch her videos on YouTube. Also, YouTube is a huge thing I go on for research. Because I like the people's views on YouTube as well. I would also like UnitedNationsWomen.org, the United Nations, for international kind of women's group that I love to look at. And this is basically women in Africa, women in Europe, women in America, all different current issues that go into modern society of how we view women.
Okay, so let's say you want to use this source for your paper.
Yeah.
So what would be the first thing you do to actually save the source so that you could come back to it later?
I would basically look at this website and I would write the Word document as I was looking at it. So I don't think I would save it and come back to later. I'm basically a person that just sits there and just writes it while I'm looking at the research or the source. And I just basically look at the Word document as I am looking at the website. So, but then I cite it. Of course, I cite it, and I usually go onto a citations website and cite it that way, rather than doing it manually and by hand, because that's harder for me to do by hand, because I always feel like I mess it up.
Okay, so you use a citation website?
Yes, ma'am.
What website do you use?
I think it's bibliograph.com. I think bibliograph.com, and I think it's like the most popular one, and I go on that and I put the URL in, and it comes up with the citations, and I make sure it's correct. But I've gotten in trouble as well for doing that, because I put the URL in and the URL is not formatted correctly or something like that, and I put the URL out. So it's probably better to do it by hand, but it takes time to research how to actually cite a correct citation by hand. So yeah.
So when you come up with all of these different sources to use, how do you keep up with the information that you find?
Oh, yes. I usually save the link on a Word document. I usually save a link on a Word document of a separate Word document than what I'm writing. Because I like my paper to look neat and etc. rather than being a confused mess. Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
I think once the paper is done, I like to proofread it and proofread it and make sure maybe go email my professor saying, what exactly, did I get the assignment correct and everything, and maybe even my professor will proofread it before I turn it in, which is doesn't happen a lot. But yeah, so that's probably it of how I actually research.
Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you
your
so
help.
much. Thank you.